Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Stitches. You'll die laughing.
Directed by Conor McMahon, starring Tommy Knight, Gemma-Leah Devereux, and the comedian Ross Noble, Stitches is about a clown. He ends up going to a party, some kids harass him, and end up causing his death. And 6 years later, they're having a birthday party. And guess who shows up? It's Stitches the Clown. So what do we like?
It kind of plays out like It, where we're seeing like the kids, a clown, years later, them versus the clown.
But it features a comedian who's absolutely hilarious in both the way that he delivers his one-liners, which are just kind of nonchalant. And if you've ever seen his comedy, then you'll understand. He just kind of plays things out.
He just has a way, like his mannerisms, how he moves, like he's very over the top, he's very silly, and he's witty. And you really have to pay attention to like the one-liners because they're using a lot of match cuts and they're using a lot of references to stuff that literally just happened. So I think if you don't pay attention to the film, you're gonna miss out on some really funny jokes.
So stay off fucking Snapchat and Instagram for a minute and watch the movie. You'll probably like some more jokes that you might have missed had you been on those social media platforms. And if you are on there, make sure you're at the Bloodbath and Beyond _TVs and Bloodbath TVs and all that.
I really like the look of Stitches.
Yeah.
I thought he looked creepy because like the makeup wasn't overdone. Like you could still see like the features and like his skin tone, and his hair was just like scraggly on the side. His clothes are like big.
He looked like one of those guys when you go to like the Three Ring Brothers circus and he's the guy like in between the good acts. He's the guy who comes up and squirts you in the face with a flower.
Yeah, he's the little tramp.
The little tramp.
I for one thought the lore in this film was really well done. I like that they went into like the history of clowns. There's a cult. They pull in the history of like clowns have been around forever. And like the little egg, that was a good touch.
Our kids. We had a bunch of kids that were hilarious. There were dickheads. They're a pair of the biggest dickheads I've ever seen in any movie. Paul and Sarah. Douchebags. I've never seen a duo like that. Fuck those kids.
I think my favorite was Bulger. He loved his food. He was very entertaining. And I just liked how he stood up to everyone.
And of course, we have our main leads, Tom, Kate, and Vinny, who were great. I mean, they had their little love story, not Vinny.
Vinny had a love story.
He had a love story of his own.
A good love story. Good job, Vinny.
Go, Vinny. Everybody did a really great job with the acting, and considering this was a younger cast, I was actually surprised because everyone was fairly convincing. I mean, it is basically like American Pie, just like they're not 30-year-olds playing 16-year-olds, they're 18-year-olds playing 16-year-olds, and it was pretty cool. But the reason why everybody wanted us to review this is because of the practical effects, and they were fucking awesome. They make such grotesque, weird things look beautiful. I think we need to bring it back for this episode. It's time for our favorite kills. I'm going umbrella death. There's multiple parts. It had its own like 3 acts to it. We have the initial impact of an umbrella going through the back of a girl's head and her eye coming at the camera. Boom! Then of course, a second act. It's a little slower. She falls as the umbrella pulls through the rest of her face. And the finale, it pops open, spraying blood everywhere. Fucking brilliant.
Like yours, mine also has acts, and I'm going with the intestine and balloon animal death. We go back to the kid popping the balloon animal, being a dick. 6 years later, his intestines are now the balloon animal. And then eventually, we get him becoming the balloon, and we see a sweet like head inflation.
Now it's time for our dislikes.
Now there were lots of deaths in this film. My biggest dislike is the fact that we have a house filled with teens. And the focus of this film is really only on like 5 or 6 deaths because Stitches is really only after the kids who killed him. But it's still disappointing that he didn't really like kill like 1 or 2 people for a different kind of death.
I feel like they could have had like a quick montage similar to like a Freddy versus Jason cornfield scene. There are key extras in the background that a lot of the characters talk to that had their own traits that could have died in funny ways, or even just had like a small conversation with Stitches that would have been fun.
Yeah, like even Dan, the like douchebag boyfriend of Kate. Maybe a musical death.
Now this isn't really a dislike, and I've been saying that a lot lately, but I gotta say it. This movie wasn't fucking long enough. It was 1 hour and 20 minutes, and it was over before I knew it, and it's upsetting. We were ready for like another hour and a half. I would do a Ben-Hur style film out of this one. That's an old reference. Maybe The Stand? Stephen King's The Stand? Is that more relevant? Maybe? Anyway, it should have been a long movie.
Yeah, and I think that's where adding more kills would have added extra time.
This was rad. Let's go on to the final thoughts and ratings. I know we should have watched this a long time ago, but we finally watched it, and I'm thankful that it was recommended so much, so thank you guys. This movie fucking rocked. It's a killer clown that's not that scary, but he is brutal and hilarious. And the movie is just really fun. If you like fun movies, and I hope you're watching movies because they're fun sometimes, then maybe you should watch this one. We have competent actors, great one-liners, and we have some of the best practical kills that we've seen while doing this show. I have nothing bad to say about this film, so I'm gonna give this 5 peeping toms playing with their little telescopes out of 5.
I can completely see why everyone has recommended this film for us because it was awesome. It was a fun time. It's a great film. And Stitches as a killer clown looked awesome. He was hilarious. And he brought us some memorable moments and favorite kills. The characters in this film were very enjoyable. And the story, it went by so fast that it made us want more. So hopefully there's a sequel on the way because it's still fairly recent. This is only 2012. We're in 2016. Let's get the sequel on the road here. So go out and see Stitches because you recommended it to us. And for those new people, I'm recommending this for you. That being said, I'm giving this 5 piss poor wines out of 5.
Tastes like piss.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film, though I already know them. If you haven't seen this film, you better watch it. It's on Netflix. Go watch it on Netflix. Otherwise, there are links in the description where you can find it. And go on YouTube and watch Ross Noble. That guy's fucking weird and funny. He's not always the most funny, but he's a good time. And it'll warm you up to his comedy in this one. And make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything Bloodbath and beyond. We're gonna need more recommendations for funny fucking movies and fun movies.
Hey, give us more Stitches.
But not just Stitches again. I'm sick of seeing these goddamn comments. That's the only reason why we did this.